we're now standing in the approximate place where we stood when Srila Gurudev came out every morning. Over there, where the other veranda is, that was the place where on this particular morning, which was the morning of the 27th of December, and Srila Gurudev's disappearance took place on the 29th of December. So on that particular morning, the devotees were standing on the opposite side, and Srila Gurudev came out on that veranda there, and he sat for some 5 or 7 minutes. And it so happened that on that particular day, some devotees brought instruments, gong, kartals, and mridanga also. And one of my godbrothers, Mahibharta Prabhu, he began to sing the Guru Puja song, Shri Guru Charana Padma, for Srila Gurudev. And so we were all standing over there, maybe about 30 devotees, and this kirtan was going on. And then, after some minutes, Srila Gurudev left the veranda, but on this particular day, he was not walking. Most of the days that Srila Gurudev came out, he was walking supported on both sides, usually by Brajanath and Madhav Maharaj. So on this particular day, Srila Gurudev was in a wheelchair, and they brought him from that veranda, and as soon as they moved him along the corridor, we ran over here to see Gurudev on this side. But we didn't know that on that particular day, because of his weakened condition, Madhav Maharaj decided to bring him back to his room. And when Gurudev came into his room, we heard this account later on, that he told, I want to go there, pointing to the other corridor, to the other veranda. He said, I want to go there. I want to see the devotees. So then, we didn't know this. We were standing here waiting, and kirtan was going on. And then Srila Gurudev arrived and sat here on this veranda. So, at that moment, I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to sing kirtan for Srila Gurudev. And I sang the Gurvastakam prayers. And we could understand that Srila Gurudev was hearing this kirtan. I'll now recount the experience that we had. It was a very special experience. And of course, none of us knew that this would be Srila Gurudev's final kirtan. So I took the gong, and another devotee, Srinivas Prabhu, was playing the mridanga very beautifully. And now I began to sing Gurvastakam in the exact melody that my Srila Prabhupada sang when he first came to America, his first recording. And in that melody, many of the devotees have heard it many, many times. Prabhupada would sing, Sangsara Dava Nalalita Loka Tranaya Karuna Ganaganatvam Raptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. So I was singing in this melody, and there are some changes in the melody as Prabhupada would go from verse to verse. I sang it exactly as Prabhupada sang it. And, you know, in the sixth verse, Nikunjayuna Rati Keli Siddhai, there's a very pathetic kind of mood. Nikunjayuno Rati Keli Siddhai Yayali Bijuktira Pekshaniya, like this. And all the devotees were singing along. Now, as we sang this kirtan, we noticed that Srila Gurudev was listening to the kirtan, that he was taking notice. And even though Srila Gurudev's hearing was not good at that time, if you wanted to speak with him, you had to come directly up to his ear. But yet, the experience was there for all of us that Srila Gurudev was actually hearing the kirtan. And the indication was that when Madhav Maharaj tried to suggest to Srila Gurudev that it was now time to return back to his room, as he would do daily, he would let Gurudev sit, and that at a certain point he would suggest, he would lean over and he would speak into Gurudev's ear that now it's time to go back to the room like this. But in this occasion, Srila Gurudev would not comply. And he sat and he made some indication with his hand that he was not ready to go yet. So we noticed this once, then we noticed this a second time. Srila Gurudev again indicated that he wouldn't go back to the room. So as we were singing, this went on. One devotee counted that Madhav Maharaj attempted 4 times to bring Srila Gurudev back to the room. 4 times. So as I was noticing this, we became more and more enlivened that Srila Gurudev was actually really appreciating the fact that we were doing this kirtan. Because generally the devotees were just standing here and chanting japa and looking at Gurudev. So then another thing that took place was that when Madhav Maharaj was attempting like this to bring Gurudev back to the room, then one devotee came. He came up to me and asked me, should I bring the artik paraphernalia? And I said yes, immediately. Because at that time, the Guru Puja was usually being performed in the temple room. So now they brought the artik paraphernalia, and we actually performed artik, Guru Puja, to Srila Gurudev from below here. And then that enlivened the devotees even more. By this time, there was maybe 30 devotees here, all singing. Then Madhav Maharaj, at the end of the Gurvastakam prayers, I began to sing, Gurudev Tomare Jai Jai Ho, Gurudev Tomare Jai Jai Ho, Gurudev Tomare Jai Jai Ho. And all the devotees became very enthusiastic, and everyone was singing, Gurudev Tomare Jai Jai Ho. And still Gurudev would not go back to his room. Finally, Madhav Maharaj indicated to us that, we should now stop the kirtan so that he can bring Gurudev back to the room. And at that time, I began to sing the song which is always sung for Srila Gurudev whenever he would leave the temple room and he would go back to his house at a festival, or he would go to his car. Then all the devotees, they would unitedly sing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. And I noticed that at that time Srila Gurudev agreed to now leave the veranda. I felt as if it was like when you call the deity from the altar by mantra and you perform archan of the deity, and at the end of that archan, then there is a mantra for inviting the deity to return to his place. So that was the feeling that I had at that time, that now Srila Gurudev is going to return to his room. So when they began to wheel Gurudev back down the corridor, all of the devotees ran very, very quickly, and they ran through that doorway there, and there's some stairway, and we went into the hotel lobby where now Srila Gurudev came on the veranda. So I'll bring you there now and you can see there, and I'll tell you what happened there.